Outlander gas. Jacob's in Florida, so I'm going to do a quick solo review. The PHEV has not been updated like the gas. I'm sure that's going to happen next year. What we have new in this: new interior layout, bigger infotainment screen, new center console area, slightly different looks, a new cool color, new cool wheels, and Yamaha speakers. The first time you get a Yamaha sound system in North America. And when I heard they were updating the infotainment and stuff, I'm like, all right, I think that's worthy enough for a look at this. But let's start with the outside, starting with this paint. Okay, it is primer gray, right? Except for they added blue metallic to it, like aluminum shavings or something. And I'm like, okay, whatever, marketing. But when you get close up, it is actually good. This is, I think, the first good flat color, because it's actually a metallic color on a flat color. So shout out Mitsubishi. Next thing, these wheels. These are the new 20s. They look awesome. They look kind of like fan blades or something. Shout out Mitsubishi, great job. And the Continental recommended tire for the new Mitsubishi Outlander wheels would be the Extreme Contact DWS 06 Plus or the Viking Contact 7 for winter. Check out the website, find your tire size. And now for the rest of the looks, this is the second from the top trim. We do have the two-tone roof, which is cool black at the top, to go with this cool gray color. Apparently the front end has been changed a little bit. They changed something in the bumpers on the sides. I can't tell. I think at the back now we all have LED taillights and then all LED at the front on all of them. It's hard for me to tell what the difference is. It still looks pretty exactly the same. I think the grille is smoother as well. I think it lights up. Also, they were bragging about how now the hood opens up without the grille coming with it, because apparently the grille used to come up with it. But I do like how it says Outlander on the front, and especially when it metallics in the perfect lighting. Then under the hood, does it have a dipstick? It does. It does pass the dipstick test. This is a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder matched up to a CVT. Is it fast? No, but we'll find out how fast soon. This has 181 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque. A nice horse torque. Pretty low horsepower numbers, especially considering this is a Cheater 3.0 compared to what the PHEV gets. And I think in previous videos I was saying how, like, okay, people are mad that Mitsubishi is like kind of a meme company now, but this is still a good car. And I'm like, why are they so mad at Mitsubishi? And then I'm like, I'm on season 2 of Initial D, second stage, and I'm like, okay, there's the Evo gangs, like the Evo 3 and stuff, and like I'm like, oh, look at that, and I'm like, okay, I see now why people are so mad that Mitsubishi isn't what Mitsubishi used to be. So if you're looking for a Mitsubishi and you want to look for an Evo, check out tsp.truecar.com, or you can look for an Outlander there. That's cool too in my books, but like, let me know what kind of Evos you can find on tsp.truecar.com. And while we're dipsticking up at the front under the hood, we should probably recommend our Total Energies recommended oil for the 25 Mitsubishi Outlander, which is the Total Energies Quartz 9000 Extra Future FGC 0W20. Always follow your manufacturer's recommended guidelines. It's actually almost springtime, which means I need to go change the oil in all of my sports cars and cars I have at home, and my new car that y'all don't know about. And I think that's everything with the looks, right? Right? Looks pretty normal. Let's move on to the inside. Cheater 3.0, like I said. I found out that there are no UAS bowl things for child seats or rear tethers in the very back row, so I guess it's just meant for very small people or tall children or whatever, that's it. But not if you're using a child seat. Booster, okay. Child seat, no. So that's cool. Those seats are, I can fit behind myself in every row well enough. And I'm 5'8", which is pretty short. But it works. It works well enough. Inside here, we now have a 12.3-inch infotainment along all the trims in the 25 gas. PHEV's not there yet. And then we got a digital gauge cluster again, but this one I think is slightly different. Maybe not. I'm not really sure. It looks kind of the same. What we do have now is a different layout. It's wider. We got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, and wireless Android Auto, because apparently the last one didn't have wireless Android Auto, but I still enjoyed to do the plug-in with my USB-C. And now at all times we have buttons on the very left, which I think might be similar to like how the Infiniti and the Armada did their thing. I gotta double check. But this isn't like Google, but there's like Google Maps in it, but it's run by TomTom, which is confusing the heck out of me. So if you actually click on your map, you see the search with the Google pin. You're like, okay, I'm gonna search. Function not available while driving. Okay, so, hey No, it doesn't do hey Google. If I click the voice button,
please say or select a command.
That doesn't sound like
Canceling
Google.
voice recognition.
That sounds like old Nissan if I ask for directions to CN Tower, play Sirius XM, right?
Please say or select a command.
Directions to CN Tower.
You can interrupt the voice prompt and give
It won't let me do it.
Voice recognition.
If I try to do Sirius XM.
Please say or select a command.
Sirius XM channel 9.
Tuning to SXM channel 9.
Some stuff does work, so that's cool, but then like when you actually click on your map, it also doesn't look like Google Maps. It looks like TomTom, but I think provided by Google Maps. I think it's like a hybrid of TomTom traffic and Google Maps. Whatever it is, I don't like it. It is not the combination I want. This is like the parts of Google I don't want. None of it makes sense to me. I don't like any of it. But you got your Google Maps, so that's all that matters. Then digging more into this, we have a volume knob, brightness button, left, right tuning buttons, and camera. The camera is nice because you can just smack that. Very good 360 high res. Love it. Absolutely love the 360 camera in this. Yamaha sound system. First thing we got to do, why hasn't Yamaha had any sound systems in North America? I don't know, but Yamaha is a good audio company. They put a lot into this. What they did to even start tuning for the audio of this, they added a ton of sound insulation to this so that it's quieter than the previous model, so that you hear the music better, which is pretty cool. Then they also, special built the speakers, the different in the doors and all that stuff. The things that everyone says they do. I think you can get like an 8 speaker and then an even more speaker Yamaha system. We got the top dog one, and every single Yamaha speaker cover says Yamaha on it. If we count the badges, I think we can get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 Yamaha badges, which is a lot for a sound system. But most importantly, does it sound good? Sounds really good. Does it sound better than a luxury car? I think it's supposed to sound similar to a luxury car. Am I good at testing out how good things sound? No, I'm not. But I haven't found anything wrong with it, but I also haven't found anything like, oh my god, this is extraordinary. But I might be tricked easily with like a lot of bass or gimmicky stuff like the Gothenburg sound system from the old Volvos, right? Well, this also has something like that. If you go to your home, click the gear in the top right, sounds and beeps, sound, then you can get to your Yamaha sounds, and then we can see our stuff is all down the center. We go to sound type. We have signature, lively, powerful, and relaxing. I found that I like powerful, but I also find that it kind of sucks that it doesn't say a small description for what each one is while you're going through. And I do like how you can set it up for your listening position, all driver, passenger, front, and rear. And then what's funny is you also have, speed compensation volume, right? If you go faster, I guess it turns up the volume. We also have rain compensation volume, so it'll go up if it rains. And then we also have AC compensation volume, which I like because that'll make up for really loud auto climate. Speaking of climate, we have all hard buttons here at the bottom. Everything hard button. It's perfect, like absolutely perfect. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, ventilated seats. What I did find though is when you start your car up in the morning, when you first get in, the steering wheel, it's got like a hard plastic. Well, it's not plasticky, but it feels like plastic when it's cold in the morning. It is like the coldest steering wheel I've ever touched before it gets heated up. Back to this area, we do have a wireless charging tray, and now we have our shifter here on the left, our drive mode dial below it, and then our cup holders to the right. Previously, the cup holders were behind, and I think I remember saying in the video, I drank my coffee less because it was such a pain to zooch my wrist and get to it. Now it's in a nice spot. I got my roll up. Probably won't win anything today, but always trying for that ID buzz. And then apparently our storage compartment here is bigger too. It's also got USB power there, so that's nice. I think the old one had USB and USB-C for connectivity. This only has USB-C, but the future is now, old man. Get used to it. I am used to it. Do we have massage? I remember the last one had a little button here. I do not see any massage option, and our lumbar is only forward and back, but the seat is comfortable. We have good adjustment. The headrests go up and down. The back headrests come out so you could fit your child seat easily. I did have my forward-facing Britax child seat there and my rear-facing one, no problem for my newborn. And with a car like this compared to my Mazda CX-5, I could definitely toss my dog in the third row, even though that would limit the room behind the third row when you're getting into the trunk. But that would be a good way to have 2 kids, 2 adults and a dog in the very back for like a day trip somewhere, even though if you day trip with a toddler, you probably need a stroller and so much stuff that it wouldn't fit in here anyways, and you need a minivan. So I guess I don't really know what I'm talking. Where would I take my dog? It's not a day trip. Like if I'm going to like my family, but I would just leave my dog at home sometimes, right? Like I don't know. I feel like two kids and a dog, you got to get a huge van or something. But what is nice is, you know, we got our climate back there. We can control our rear climate from here, and then you can also slide the seats forward and back a whole bunch and recline them. And then you got this nice big moon roof, and we have a nice light top, like interior here. I love that. I love light interiors. Makes it feel nice and airy inside. With our seats, we do have seat presets that we can set while driving, unlike Hyundai, Kia, Genesis. So shout out not Hyundai, Kia, Genesis. And then we still have, for materials, really nice leather stuff. I think it's leather. Could be fake leather. I know there's like a semi-anodized leather with brown interior for the top trim. All this stuff looks good. We still have like that fake carbon fiber on the left here, but in the middle now it's piano black, which I don't mind, but Jacob does. Speaking of stuff here, we've got our drive modes, Eco, Normal, and then what's this one called? Tarmac is the sport mode. And then gravel, snow, and mud. And I love the graphics in the gauge cluster. I think it all looks really, really nice. Let's put it in tarmac mode. Spin the sucker around. Find out how to turn off traction control. I'm thinking it's through the infotainment. And try our best to do a 181 horsepower, 181 torque launch with a CVT. And I think you get 8 fake gears with the tarmac mode for paddles and shifting into manual mode, but I'm not going to use that. Brake boost. Like, it feels a lot better than I thought 181 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque would feel like. You know what I mean? It feels better than I thought it would. Does it stay pinged off the limiter? Was it pinged earlier? I don't know. Either way, I'm not. For some reason, the power isn't the worst, and I'm not gonna complain. I'm sure if you load it up with people, it'll probably be rough. Jacob would be mad. Jacob would be furious, absolutely livid with the power. And then for the 25 gas version, they also recalibrated the suspension and everything, and I think gave it different steering, so it should feel a little firmer. I found it like kind of firm steering, but I liked it. It does feel good, and it is very comfortable and quiet. And then with our gauge cluster showing our different drive modes, we can also change our meter view. So if you remember the last one, we had the things on the side, and it was things spinning non-stop because that was the PHEV. This one only has your tach and your speed. Does it look more normal? That's still moving kind of weird. I would not advise this meter mode. But the animation to go from meter mode to your normal mode with the tach glowing and stuff, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, Mitsubishi or Nissan, whoever did that. So one more thing we're missing by not having the top trim, we don't have the mirror that turns into a backwards camera. But what we do have is the really, really good adaptive cruise lane centering. I think it's called like, I had a name for it. It was like iMeave, Drive Meave or something like that from the last one. But the adaptive cruise lane centering does work well. Steering wheel button's pretty easy to use for all of our radio and stuff. The head-up display is very clear too. Doesn't hurt your eyes, doesn't look weird. It's not too big, not too crazy like the Macan EV floating around. It's just a nice, normal, standard head-up display that doesn't bother me. And it does have a windshield wiper heating area button right here, which is cool. Let's see if we can see that with our thermal camera, because we did show our heated steering wheel with the thermal cameras as well. And then last thing, visors. Here, I'll do one for you too, Jacob. 3, 2, 1. Both pass. Good job. I think it says sliding visor because lots of Nissan in here. Oh, door handles. You only have the button on the driver and passenger, not in the back. So to, you know, it's kind of annoying that it's not on the exact one. You have to click the button. And then we also have baby shades in the back, which is nice. And then this infotainment, when you're actually in your Sirius XM, they have done a layout that everybody else has gotten wrong. Kia, Hyundai, Cadillac, General Motors, they all screwed up. They make you go through too many things to do everything you want. Here I can see the album art on the right, very big. The channel, very big on the left. The name of the song in the middle. I can put my favorites all at the bottom. I can go through my song, my rewinding in the middle, through my stations on the left, and keep it on the left. Like, it is the most perfect layout for a Sirius XM. Using Sirius XM, like, it's absolutely perfect. How is everyone else so bad and Mitsubishi getting it perfect? I'm shocked. I love this. Like, in the Hyundais, like, you actually have to like click the album art to boot that up to even see what the song is called, and then to even rewind. Like, they did a great job of minimizing button clicks, and then you get those bonus channels like Utopia 341.